I feel like I'm just going through the motions. The average person lives just 4,000 weeks and spends over 90,000 hours at work during their lifetime. Now imagine spending all that time doing something that doesn't energize or fulfill you just to check the boxes on someone else's definition of success. That thought hit me about 4 years ago when I realized that my life had fallen into this predictable routine. I was checking all the boxes: decent job, regular paycheck, fairly comfortable life, but something was still missing. I didn't really wake up feeling excited to live my everyday life, and I certainly didn't feel like I was building towards anything meaningful. It's kind of like this feeling of, well, is this it? Is this life? It felt like I was just living life on autopilot. But breaking out of this autopilot mode is definitely easier said than done, and today there's so many things that are kind of working against us to keep us in this state. I know for years I kind of convinced myself that, well, this is just what adult life is like and I need to get used to it, but that all changed once I started following this 5-step framework, which completely transformed the way I approach my everyday life. So in this video, I'll walk you through the exact process that I use to sort of snap myself out of this state of mindlessly drifting through life on autopilot to now where I wake up every day with a clear direction, purpose, and excitement to live my everyday life. I'll put timestamps down below so you can easily return to a specific step. And if you want help actually applying this process to your life, I'll link a free Life Reset workbook down in the description. It'll take you through each step of this process so you can actually implement it into your life rather than just watching the video and forgetting about everything in 20 minutes from now. Let's start by understanding the autopilot trap, because before we can start implementing any kind of solution, we need to clearly define the problem. The default path in life for the longest time has been go to school, maybe go to college, hopefully get decent grades, apply to some jobs, hopefully get a good job, work for 40 years, have a family, get a house at some point, retire at 65, die after 4,000 weeks, and that's life. This progression in life has become the default path because it's supposed to be comfortable, it's pre-approved, no one's going to question you when you follow it because you'll fit in with everyone else. But here's where things get tricky. First of all, these days, following this sort of default path in life is actually getting harder and harder to do. 50 years ago, you could go to university and pretty much be guaranteed to get a decent job and maybe even afford a house at a fairly young age. And it was truly a safe path in life. And I just don't really think that's the case anymore. I've seen so many people spend tens of thousands of dollars on university, take out student loans, even go to graduate school and still struggle to find a job that they like or one that pays them enough to comfortably afford their own place. And because this safe path is desirable for many, when you do actually land that comfortable job with a respectable salary, it might feel like you're not really allowed to want more. I found that there's kind of this weird guilt that creeps in, like you're being ungrateful or untitled for wanting something different when you're already doing better than most people around the world. My wake-up call to all this came during a routine Monday morning meeting where I sat there as my colleagues discussed the same topics that we discuss every week, making the same jokes that they had probably been making for decades. From the outside, it seemed like they had decent lives, stable income, nice families, solid benefits, but I could sense something in their tone, this sort of subtle dissatisfaction, quiet resignation, a feeling of just it is what it is. In that moment, I could suddenly visualize how the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years of my life would go if I stayed on this path, and that terrified me. The problem wasn't that I had a bad job, it was that I had no purpose. Life on autopilot feels like driving a familiar route and suddenly realizing that you don't remember the last 5 minutes of the journey. Whereas designing your life with intention feels like taking the scenic route. It might be less predictable, it might have its ups and downs, but you actually remember the trip and enjoy the view along the way. So the real shift happened for me when I realized something that seems obvious now, but it's that you don't have to do what everyone else around you does. You can create whatever life you want to live. Before we dive into step 1, I'd greatly appreciate it if you subscribe and like the video. It's a zero-cost way for you to support the channel and help this video reach people who might be stuck in that autopilot mode and looking for a way out. Step 1. The distraction detox. Before I could properly realign my direction in life, the first uncomfortable truth that I had to confront was that I was numbing myself with distractions. TV shows to escape to, endless social media scrolling, video games, a couple drinks on the weekend. None of these themselves were terrible in moderation, but together they were enough to create this noise that drowned out the voice inside of me that was trying to tell me that something was off in my life. So try this little thought experiment with me. Imagine if you suddenly stripped away all those forms of entertainment, TV, video games, social media, YouTube, alcohol, anything like that. What would you feel? This might be kind of hard to imagine if you've never done anything like this, but at first it might be a little boredom, maybe even some anxiety, loneliness. But after a while, I bet that you'd start to get some clarity on what is actually missing from your real life. So here's how I'd implement a distraction detox to get clarity on what's missing from your life. Set aside 48 hours where you commit to no social media, streaming services, video games, YouTube, unnecessary phone use, etc. And then keep a small physical notebook with you and jot down any sort of thoughts, feelings, ideas, worries that come to mind when you're in the middle of this detox, and especially if you feel the urge to reach for one of these distractions. These notes will become valuable data points about what you're actually avoiding in your life that we'll come back to later. I know this might sound challenging, but I really think it's an essential first step. And by removing these digital distractions, even temporarily, you create the mental space needed to hear your own thoughts and desires more clearly. It's like turning down the background noise or putting on noise canceling headphones so you can actually hear the conversation that's happening right in front of you. Now let's move on to step 2, the life alignment audit. Once you've created some mental space through your distraction detox, it's time for a comprehensive life audit. Think of this as kind of assessing your character's current level or stats in a video game. The first time I did this exercise was about 4 years ago after I landed my first job upon graduating college. And it was honestly one of the most clarifying and impactful things that I've ever done. Since then, my life has evolved dramatically. I've over doubled my income, been promoted multiple times at work, grown this channel from zero, gotten into the best shape of my life, strengthened relationships. And I think a lot of this might not have happened if I had never done this exercise all those years ago. So if you're gonna do one thing from this video, this is the thing that I would do. And again, I'll link that free workbook in the description that makes it super easy for you to apply all of these steps. So start by identifying the key areas of your life. I like to use these 10 categories because I think it covers pretty much everything, but if something's missing, feel free to add another category, but mine are clarity, mindset, energy, time, work, creativity, love, community, money, and environment. For each category, describe your current situation as honestly as possible. Don't rush this part, really sit with each category and get clear on where things stand right now. I personally like to write these types of things by hand on paper. So I would just print out that workbook or use a separate sheet of paper. Or if you really want to go digital, you can type it, that's fine too, or write on a tablet, whatever works best for you. Then once you've written a brief description of each area, give it a rating out of 10. I know rating your life might feel a little weird, but I think it's actually important that we quantify some of these things to give us a more clear understanding of these sort of abstract life concepts and ideas. So for example, with the energy category, you could ask yourself, well, do I feel well rested most days? Do I have consistent energy throughout the day? Am I eating and moving in ways that support my body? Right now, maybe you're at a 4 out of 10 because although you're ambitious and have these big goals, when it comes down to do the work, you just feel tired and you're relying on caffeine to get through the day and you've been putting off establishing a proper exercise routine. And be brutally honest here, there's no benefit to like inflating your scores. This is just for you. You don't have to show anyone, and accurate information here is kind of crucial for designing your path forward. Step 3, your limitless vision. Now this is where things can get fun. For each area that we just described and gave it a rating, we're now going to imagine our ideal scenario in that category of life. And don't worry about being realistic. Pretend that you can wave a magic wand and instantly make your dream situation come true. You cannot fail. What would it take to make you rate each category in your life a 10 out of 10? Be as specific and detailed as you can. What would your ideal career look like? Not just the job title or the salary, but what would you actually spend your day doing? What kind of impact would you have on the world? How would you feel to wake up and do your work every morning? So for the energy example we discussed earlier, a 10 out of 10 might look like I naturally wake up early without an alarm, feeling refreshed. I have consistent energy throughout the day without needing endless doses of caffeine to keep me alive. I exercise 4 to 5 times weekly and actually enjoy it. My meals are mostly healthy and I rarely feel sluggish after eating. Do this for every category and you'll start to craft a comprehensive vision for your entire life, one that you actually want, not just one that you happen to stumble into. Step 4, priority setting. After completing steps 2 and 3, you'll have a clear picture of where you are now and where you want to be. And the space between those 2 points is kind of where the magic happens. Look carefully at which areas have the most room for improvement. I remember when I first did this exercise, I actually did give my energy category a 4 out of 10 because I just always felt tired. Even though I had these, big goals and plans for other areas of my life, it was all being kind of dragged down by my low energy levels and I was getting sick all the time. It was weird. But because I did this exercise, I was able to identify that bottleneck and it helped me prioritize sleep, nutrition, exercise, just general health more. And that kind of created this positive ripple effect that uplifted the other areas in my life. So try to narrow it down to maybe 1 to 3 categories where it feels like improving those scores would increase your overall life satisfaction and enjoyment the most. Something that you rated a 3 out of 10 might be more pressing to address than something rated a 5 out of 10, but it really kind of depends on how much it impacts your daily life and the other categories in your life. And the reason why we're trying to narrow it down to between 1 and 3 categories is because if we try to fix everything in our life and focus on all the areas, then we're probably not going to make much progress in anything. Remember, we only have 4,000 weeks in our entire lives. That might sound like a lot, but it's really not. So try not to spend too much of your time drifting on autopilot and convincing yourself that, well, that's just how life is, and relinquishing control from how your life unfolds. Step 5, taking action. All right, it's time to get practical. For each priority area that you identified, let's brainstorm some specific actions that you can take to move one step closer towards that sort of 10 out of 10 vision that you have for that area of your life. These don't have to be massive changes. Even small steps in the right direction can be enough to create momentum. So let's continue with this energy example. So if you're at a 4 out of 10 and you want to get closer to a 10 out of 10 in this category, some specific actions might include just setting a consistent bedtime and wake up time, and maybe even setting a bedtime alarm on your phone, starting the habit of just 10 minutes of daily exercise and gradually increasing it from there, swapping one processed food that you eat regularly for a whole food, healthier alternative, or maybe just setting a caffeine cutoff time of 12 p.m. The key here is to make these actions specific, measurable, and achievable. You don't want to set yourself up for failure by attempting to make these radical overnight changes. Small, consistent steps that you can build up over time will take you much further. To make it official, I recommend just getting out a piece of paper and creating a concrete action plan. List out the 3 priority areas that you're focusing on and 3 to 5 specific actions or habits that you're going to take within the next 30 days. Write these down, sign your name at the bottom, and put it up on your wall or somewhere visible. This initial life audit might take a little while, although I'm hoping that the workbook will help streamline the process a bit. But the clarity that this exercise provides is definitely worth every minute. I definitely recommend revisiting your scores every quarter to track progress and adjust course as needed. This isn't just a one-time exercise, it's an ongoing practice of intentional living. All right, bonus step number 6, handling resistance. So in this moment, if you've made it this far in the video, or if you're in the middle of filling out that workbook or doing this exercise, you might feel pretty good, pretty motivated, excited to venture on this path of designing your best life and working towards your goals, all that good stuff. The truth is, you're not always going to feel that motivated and that excited about everything, and you're going to face a lot of resistance as you try to deviate from kind of the default path that the world and society around you is kind of funneling you down. And this will come from both within yourself and the people around you. Friends may question why you're changing. Family might think that you're making a mistake. Your own brain will create compelling reasons to retreat to safety. Rather than being caught off guard by this pushback, anticipate it as being a natural part of the process and actually a sign that you're making some meaningful changes. So can you completely transform your life by following this 5-step framework? I definitely believe that you can. It's not going to happen overnight, but I've certainly seen some major changes in my life since I initially did this exercise. And at the same time, I feel like I'm just getting started and I'm excited for what the rest of my life has to offer. But breaking free from this autopilot way of living is definitely a process. It's not an event that happens instantly. Each time you make a conscious choice that aligns with your vision for your life instead of defaulting to what's easiest or the expected path, you strengthen this muscle of living with intention, and it will get that much easier the next time. If you found this video helpful, again, I linked a free life reset workbook down in the description that will take you through this whole process step by step. And there's some things that I didn't have time to mention in the video that I put in the workbook that I think should help even more. Click subscribe right now if you want to see more videos like this one, and let me know in the comments what areas of your life are you going to be focusing on for the next few months. I'll be reading and responding. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. See you in a bit.